Howdy folks, how are we doing? Now, New Holland T5 140 dynamic command. Now that is the key phrase, dynamic command. That relates to the transmission, which has been out a couple of years now, and it's a transmission I've heard loads of good things about and I wanted to try, well, since I first heard about it. It's basically a double clutch gearbox, 4 ranges, 8 power shift speeds per range, and in a lot of ways it simulates a CVT transmission. So I've had a couple of days now, not been using it because we've been busy doing other things, but I've got a few little jobs to do today on a Saturday, so we'll have a little look and see what it's like. Right, first thing I wanted to do is get our old 6020 next to the new T5, just to compare the two side by side, because that is the tractor that is possibly going to replace. So the 6020, what's she, 100 horsepower, T5 140, obviously 140 horsepower, so a lot more powerful. But overall size, I think you'll agree there's not a lot to choose between it. The you know, the bonnet and front end of the T5 does appear a bit chunky, but then it's got to deal with more emissions, you know, because this is probably a tier 3. It's a 11-year-old tractor now, so obviously it hasn't got the emissions on that one has got on. That takes up space. So yeah, overall, you know, there's not a lot to choose between them, not enough to worry about anyway. So let's have a bit of just a look round and see what else has changed. The T5 has got, you know, the new bonnet compared to the old one, upgraded lighting, so it's got the LED work lights on it, the belt line driving lights as well. Got the new mirror package, obviously, with the mother regulations, which includes blind spot. Access is, well, essentially the same. You get the toolbox again. Of course, you've got the AdBlue, like I was just saying. They're nice and easy where you get to. Right, so this is the old back end. You've got your spool valves there, trailer electrics there, your hydraulic brakes there. It's all a little bit cramped in there, like, but otherwise, you know, it's a fairly well laid out back end. But we come on to the T5 now, and you'll see some fair changes here. Look at that. How much neater and tidier is that? The spool valves now much easier to get to. Like on the old one, it's very, yeah, there wasn't a lot of room to get them in, but now they're laid out like that, much easier to get to. You got your trailer electrics up there, out the way. Your ABS braking, you've got a D plug there as well on the back of the cab. You got your hydraulic brakes there, so that is, in my opinion, a big improvement. I do like that new system there, and obviously you've got space to move them about and put new other ones in as well. So Sawman push out hitch, which is on the green remotes there. Yeah, big improvement. Well, the cabs are essentially the same, although obviously they're laid out differently. This is a dual command transmission in this one, 2 ranges, 16 speeds altogether, but it's just like a simple, honest tractor, this one. So obviously the new cab, far more up to date. We've got mechanical spools, 3 of them there. We've got hydroelectric joystick for the front loader. And obviously we've got a sidewinder controller there. The blister panels have come down here now, so they're more easy to use. That's about it. You've got your aircon and your lighting up there. Nice comfy place to sit. Right, I've just got a couple of little jobs I want to do today with this, just so I can get used to it and get my head around a few of the functions, because this dynamic command transmission is, yeah, just a little bit different to, you know, the power commands and everything like that. It's got some very useful features that we'll look at more in depth on, you know, on following videos like. But what we want to do today is I've got a bit of dirt to move up top of the silage stack there that I did a little bit of digging up there, a bit of levelling. I've just got to move that, so we've got the bucket on, so we'll make use of that. And then what we're going to do now is I need to get the plough out. because if you remember last year, I said on many occasions that the plough was desperate for metal. Well, it's still desperate for metal. I haven't, you know, it's just one of them things, and it gets put at the back of the yard, and you know, it doesn't come out till you want it. But we don't want it yet, but I've got to get it out and, you know, get everything ordered that I want. So it'll be a good little test for this. How well can it lift that that Dowswell DP7 5 furrow? Right, now the stabilisers have been updated to a lovely little design here. Instead of them being winders where you'd wind them in and out, they would tend to seize. They always seize over time because of the amount of crap they get in there. But now, as you can see, we've got various holes we can put it in. Blooming good idea, New Holland, blooming good idea. That one there, we'll take that out, that lets the arms float. So, you know, whatever you pull in will find its own way behind the tractor. But no, that is a good idea, New Holland. So I'll just set that to where I want there. And then we can put that in there. That is set. I like that a lot. I really do like that a lot. That makes things, you know, it's so easy to change then. Oh, just inching her back. Nice and controllable. Whoop. Oh, we've got hold of the bottom links. Right, let's see if she lifts it. Should do. No reason why it shouldn't. Right, out it comes. Didn't seem bothered by it at all. I mean, we know it's a heavy plough because the LTW knows about it when she's got it on the back. So I'll back the power harrow where the plough was, so then I'll put the plough back in front of the power harrow now, so that it's accessible to start sorting this metal out. And I thought, while I've got it on the tractor, I'll just have a little quick jingle about, see what it's like, you know, at a bit of speed over some rough ground, over the, you know, one of the meadows. Because I've got no front suspension, but I've got the loader on the front, obviously. Wouldn't have the loader on it to plough with, but the loader has got boom suspension on it, so that does provide a level of suspension. It's blooming smooth because it, you know, considering it's a little tiny 4-cylinder tractor, coping ever so well. Plough dropped off. I can get around that now, so I've got plenty of metal to put on it at the minute, but I've also got to order some shins and a few other bits and bobs so I get the plough up to spec like. So I shouldn't even think the amount of metal it's got in it at the minute, it wouldn't even go in the ground, I wouldn't have thought. So that's how it's ready to do. Now I've been obviously just jingling about this, just, you know, backwards and forwards over the yard. I'm really getting used to it now, and I'm finding more and more things, little touches, that are just elevating it, like nice little touches, thought out touches. And we'll cover some of them in obviously future videos, but yeah, I'm really liking it. I really am liking it. It's some machine. this into the low range now. That's in the B5. Yeah, it's a good sort of speed for yard work, that is, like B range. Right, so we've got the lovely little joystick here. So I haven't got much to move, it's just what I scraped up with the digger the other day. But we'll get this lovely new bucket a bit dirty. Oh yes. Now I've got to get used to driving this in a different way. Don't need the clutch, obviously. Don't need the clutch, but I've got three, just neutral it a minute. I've got a button down here that adjusts the clutch aggressiveness. Now it's in its most aggressive at the minute, which is perfect for loader work. It's like driving a hydrostatic telehandler. Lovely smooth changes, just like that. No jolting whatsoever. That's a super smooth change of direction, and that is a dynamic command party trick. Put this on here. We'll just stick her in four-wheel drive just so a bit more sure-footed. Like that. Loader is beautifully smooth and powerful. I mean, really smooth. Look how quick it is. Plenty of hydraulic power and speed there, look. Another little touch I like is it's got dynamic stop and start. So obviously I'm moving at the minute. If I want to stop, hit the brake. Now how cool is that? Like I said, it's mirroring a CVT transmission. So let off, away it goes. So you don't need the clutch when you're moving. So it is a very, very good system, I think. And it's just, you know, it's perfectly suited to loader work. Got some go. She has got some go, this thing. That is a vicious bucket, that is. Good scoop there. So it's going to be interesting getting this tractor on some more loader duties. We'll get it loaded with some straw, and you know, I'm going to give it as much work as I possibly can whilst I've got it. But initial impressions, well, very, very impressive. Very impressive. Some machine. So, initial impressions. Well, it's blooming impressive is what it is. This dynamic command transmission took a little bit of getting used to, because it's got a lot of new features that just simply not, we're not used to. So, but we'll be looking at them more in depth on future videos. But yeah, initial impressions, what a machine. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little vid. We'll see you and more of this on the next vid. Ta-ta!